Good afternoon, Kenya. Welcome aboard Newsline TV. I'm Japheth Ogada.
And I am Natalia Seini-Letur. It's time to catch up on the stories making headlines and shaping the day.
From breaking news and current affairs to sports, business, and entertainment,
we've got everything you need to stay informed this afternoon.
This is the Newsline Afternoon News Bulletin with Jeff
and Natalia.
Headlines. Thousands march in Nairobi CBD to protest rising femicide cases.
Ethiopia holds local elections as Abiy seeks to consolidate power.
Private plane crash lands in Masai Mara, all on board safe. Utumishi Academy dormitory fire investigation takes new turn.
Stay with us as we bring you to the latest developments and details on these and other top stories.
Ethiopia is holding elections that are being closely watched as millions of citizens head to the polls in votes as a scene crucial for the country's political direction. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed also cast his ballot as the exercise got underway, amid expectations that the outcome could further strengthen his political influence. The Electoral Commission is yet to announce the official results, with the votes counting still ongoing in several areas across the country. We now cross over to our reporter Natalie Seini-Letur for more on this developing story.
Ethiopians have voted in local elections, with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed widely expected to strengthen his political position. Ahmed, who has led the country since 2018, has initially gained international praise and won a Nobel Peace Prize for restoring peace with neighboring country Eritrea. However, his administration has faced criticism over allegations of autocratic rule. Reporting for Newsline Media, my name is Natalia Seini-Letur.
A private aircraft has landed in Olkiombo airstrip inside the Masai Mara National Reserve after its nose landing gear reportedly failed to lock during approach. The incident occurred on Monday morning as the plane was preparing to land at the busy tourist airstrip. All three people on board escaped unhurt with no serious injuries reported. The emergency response teams were quickly deployed to secure the area and assess the situation. Authorities say preliminary reports for a mechanical fault as the cause of the emergency landing. Nancy Wangari closes the first session of our news briefing with a report.
So a private aircraft crash landed at the Masai Mara National Reserve following a gear nose malfunction. It had 3 occupants, which were the pilot, his wife, and a staff member of the Serengeti Hotel. They were all unharmed. The runway 50 meters before coming to a stop. A police incident report from Nkoilale police station in Narok West sub-county. The incident occurred at around 10 a.m. at the airstrip located approximately 60 kilometers west of the base. The pilot immediately switched off the engine upon ground contact. On board were the pilot, Captain Mark Ross, his wife Margaret Mungai, and Claire Clark, a staff member at the Serengeti camp. All 3 are Kenyan citizens and escaped the incident without injuries. Reporting for Newsline Media, I am Nancy Wangari.
With that report from Nancy Wangari, we are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back shortly to continue with our news bulletin.
Welcome back, and let's get into our next story. Investigations into the deadly fire at Utumishi Academy are ongoing, with authorities working to establish the exact cause of the dormitory blaze that left several students affected. Preliminary findings indicate that the incident may have started in one of the students' sleeping areas, though officials have not confirmed the source of the fire. Security agencies and education officials have intensified the probe, recording statements from students and staff as part of the effort to piece together what happened. The school remains under close monitoring as investigators continue their work on the ground. Authorities have assured the public that a full report will be released once investigations are complete, as calls for accountability and improved safety measures in school continues to grow. Japheth Ogada reports.
New developments have emerged into the investigation of the deadly Utumishi girls' dormitory fire, with a total of 7 students now already linked to the incidents. According to the reports made earlier, the suspects were cited by the frustrations over the change in examination dates, charges over the cultural events, and alleged influence by the neighboring boys' school who had earlier on made a protest. CCTV footage recorded the plan being plotted earlier in the day before the execution was made late in the evening. Authorities are already venturing into the issue and has alleged that the suspects ought to be arraigned in court today as investigators continue to make their investigation in what could have premeditated into the attack. Ogada, Newsline Media, Nairobi. Hope justice prevails to the bereaved. Thousands of Kenyans have taken to the streets of Nairobi CBD in a peaceful demonstration calling for urgent action to address rising cases on feminicide and gender-based violence across the country. Protesters are demanding stronger laws, improved protection systems, and swift justice for victims and their families. The march brought together civil society groups, activists, and members of the public who expressed concern over the increased incidents. We now cross over to our reporter for more details.
Thousands of Kenyans, predominantly women, gathered at the Nairobi Central Business District for an anti-femicide protest on June 1st, 2026. The protest brought together civil rights organizations, activists, and concerned citizens from all over the country. This protest called on the government to take stronger action against gender-based violence, which is a growing concern all over the country. Protesters marched through the city carrying placards and banners demanding justice for victims of violence and greater protection for women and children. A symbolic coffin was also carried during the procession to honor lives lost to femicide. Demonstrators also raised concerns about reports of missing children and called for urgent investigation, emphasizing that the safety of women and children should be treated as a national priority. The June 1st march reflects growing public demand for accountability and stronger action against gender-based violence in Kenya. Through peaceful protest, participants sought to amplify the voices of victims and push for meaningful reforms aimed at protecting women and children from violence. With increasing cases of women being killed in cases of violence against women. Reporting for Newsline Media, I'm Faith Awar.
And on our business news, Kenya's business sector is showing signs of mixed performance as markets continue to react to changing economic conditions and ongoing reforms aimed at stabilizing the cost of living. Traders and investors are closely monitoring shifts in fuel prices and currency exchange rates, which continues to influence the cost of goods and services across the country.
The central bank has maintained efforts to stabilize the shilling against major currencies, while businesses are calling for more supportive policies to ease operational cost and boost growth. Analysts say investors' confidence remains cautious but steady as the market adjusts to global and local economic pressures. Ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back to conclude with our sports news and finally make a conclusion of our news bulletin.
Welcome back, and on our sports news, preparations for the upcoming FIFA World Cup are gathering pace as participating nations intensify training, camps and final squad selection ahead of the global tournament. Coaches are fine-tuning tactics with a focus on fitness, team chemistry and adapting to competitive conditions expected at the event.
Several teams have already announced preliminary squads, while others are expected to finalize their selection in the coming weeks. Friendly matches are also being lined up to test readiness and assess player performance under pressure.
With anticipation building worldwide, fans are eagerly counting down to kickoff as nations aim to make their mark on football's biggest stage.
In other sports news, Kenyan's athletics contingent continues its build-up for upcoming international championships, with athletes undergoing intensive training as they target strong performances on the global stage. Coaches say form and fitness remain key focus area in selection trials approach.
With anticipation building worldwide, fans are eagerly counting down to the kickoff as nations aim to make their mark on football's biggest stage.
Rashford's far out with Dunbar.
Before we do a summary of our news bulletin, Tenry School awaits an anticipating election coming 11th of next week. So Natalie, who are you supporting for the 4 incoming presidents or presidents in waiting?
I'll be supporting Sally, and I'm very confident that she's going to win.
Same Sally can't win over Team Alo. But let's wait and see what's going to happen on the 11th of June next week. And that brings us to the end of our afternoon news bulletin. Thank you for staying with us and making Newsline TV your trusted source of news.
We appreciate your company and hope you've been well informed on the top stories making headlines today across Kenya and beyond.
For more updates and breaking news throughout the day, keep it locked right here on Newsline TV.
You can also follow us on our digital platforms for continuous coverage and the latest development as they unfold.
From the entire news team,
thank you for watching and listening.
Good afternoon and stay informed.